Hey everyone, I'm Josh, and in this video I want to talk to you about the importance of giving yourself permission to be human. So what this means is hopefully what it sounds like, just basically giving yourself more grace, allowing yourself to make mistakes, to be insecure at times, that sort of thing. Because that's natural, that's the way it is for everyone out there. It's all about helping yourself become more comfortable in your own skin, accepting yourself as you are. This makes life so much easier to navigate that I can't even really put it into words and just how much it will impact your life. Really, the only way you can find out is by doing this, by putting it into practice yourself. I was actually inspired to talk about this topic because of a conversation I had with one of my buddies on the phone earlier today, where we were talking about dating and whatnot and working out and all sorts of aspects of life, and how we've just found that as we get older, we're basically giving ourselves that space, that permission to just be human, to make mistakes, to be imperfect, to show up for women as this imperfect man who's trying his best, and that's okay. To have the courage to approach a woman and maybe not even know what to say to her at times, that's also okay. In fact, you can even be honest about that and literally tell her that you don't know what to talk about, but you just found her so beautiful, or her energy was attractive that you had to come over and say hi to her, and you didn't even know where to go from there, and you can call that out. Just stuff like that, where you're giving yourself permission to be human, where you don't have to put on this facade all the time and act like you have things figured out and you're perfect and whatnot, because nobody truly is. And I've found as I've gotten older that people tend to actually appreciate you more if you show them that you're okay being infallible, being this imperfect person. It makes other people feel like they can also be authentic around you, because they're shown by your example that it's okay, that you don't need to constantly be amazing and perfect, this super strong-willed human being who never has insecurities, never makes mistakes or anything like that. That's not even possible, really. All of us are imperfect. It's just interesting how so often we are taught to hide that, like it's this bad thing, kind of like animals in the wild where if they have an injury, they try to hide it so they can increase their odds of survival. Only we're human beings, and we're not trying to survive out there, so there's really not much point in faking it. Like, it doesn't help us at all. If anything, having the courage to be vulnerable, to be human, allows other people to better connect with you, to more deeply connect with you. In fact, it's probably one of the strongest strategies you can use when dating, because the more vulnerable you are, it'll show you whether or not somebody else is even a good fit for you, whether or not they are willing to accept you as you are. And if they are, well, your vulnerability will be incredibly attractive to them. Your honesty, that authenticity that comes from being vulnerable, that will make them want to be around you. It will make you magnetic and charming to them. This has been my own experience, and it's also been the experience of many other people that I know who've had the courage to be vulnerable when approaching dating. So this stuff really works, and the funny part is, it's not even really a strategy. It's just you being yourself and being comfortable in your own skin, being willing to be human, giving yourself that permission to be an imperfect, infallible, or not infallible, a perfect, imperfect, fallible human being. Oh my God, see, right now I'm even showing you that that happens to me. I just tripped up over my words. I'm not even going to edit that out so I can show you and prove this point that it is okay to be imperfect. We don't always constantly need to put on that facade. I don't need to edit out every single mistake I make, because sometimes they're impactful to keep them in, like I'm going to do here. So there you go. It's just funny to me how we kind of spend our entire lives, or I should say, more so when we're young and growing up, we spend our time trying to be someone we're not. We aren't able to accept ourselves as we are. We feel insecure and whatnot. And to avoid bullying and be accepted into friend groups, we often would pretend to be someone we're not, and that sort of thing, like even going so far as to lie about what you're interested in, just so that you have something in common, or perceived in common, with other kids, so that you can make new friends and that sort of thing. And then when we reach adulthood, many of us never outgrow that facade game that we play from childhood. And it's unfortunate, because why shouldn't we want to be able to just be ourselves, to accept ourselves, and then we'll find other people who will be willing to accept us. You see, it's not even worthwhile to be accepted by people where you're pretending to be someone you're not. And if they were to reject you, if you do then show that real version of you to them, that's not even a net loss. Like, these are people who aren't meant for you. They don't fit your vibe. They're not your tribe. So you should want to find people who like the authentic version of you, and don't sweat it if you find that disconnect with people who aren't meant for you, especially when dating. It's kind of mind-boggling how many people take rejection personally when they really shouldn't. It's a good thing. If things don't work out with you and someone else because you have that disconnect, that's good. This isn't the person for you. You shouldn't immediately beat yourself up and think there's something wrong with you. No, they're just not your person. You guys may not be into the same things, and that's okay. So yeah, basically the whole point of this video is that we need to give ourselves permission to just be human, to be imperfect, to be fallible, to make mistakes, to be insecure at times, to sometimes let our emotions get the best of us. So long as it's not all the time, that's okay. To sometimes eat a bunch of ice cream because we're not feeling good, as long as it's not all the time, again, that's okay. It's okay to be a balanced person, to have off days and whatnot, to sometimes beat yourself up. But again, the important thing is, when these are bad things, bad behaviors, as long as they aren't happening consistently, it's okay to experience those things from time to time, to be that imperfect person. Now, like I said, you just don't want to make sure that this is happening all the time, because I'm not trying to give you permission to ruin your life and, eat ice cream all the time, never exercise, and constantly give into your emotions. That's not the argument I'm making in this video, but just that you give yourself more permission to be human from time to time, and to not let these normal things knock you off track. Because some people will end up feeling insecure, then eating a bunch of ice cream to cope with it, and then they'll recognize that they're eating all this ice cream and feel bad about that, so now they feel even worse, so then they'll be more prone to eat even more ice cream, or that sort of thing. We just kind of spiral out of control when we don't allow ourselves permission to just be imperfect human beings. So practice doing that. Practice giving yourself that permission to just allow yourself to be who you are, to be an imperfect person like literally everybody else out there. We all are imperfect people. The people who don't come off that way are just trying really hard to convince you that they're perfect, but they're not. It's a facade. All of us are living the same life in just different ways, and we're all pretending to be people we're not, and it's not very helpful. So just give yourself that permission to be real, to be authentic, to be vulnerable, to have insecurities, to occasionally act on your emotions, to occasionally be sad and whatnot. It's all okay. But anyway, this video has probably gone on long enough. You understand the gist of it, so I'm going to end it here. But I truly hope that you enjoyed this video. I truly hope that you'll practice this, because seriously, it will make your life better. I mean, there's a reason I surround myself with friends who even have conversations like this with me, because these are powerful things. So just allow yourself to be human. Like, it makes life so much better, and I hope you will be able to experience that for yourself soon enough. But that's all I have for you guys. Truly hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, feel free to leave a like on it for the algorithm. If you aren't already subscribed, feel free to do that for more videos like this. I have coaching offered at my website below. I also have donation links there if my content has been beneficial for you and you feel that you'd like to give back in some way. I'd also love to hear your comments on this topic down below as well. And that's all I have for you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci.